My name is Prashantam. I am a disciple of OSHO, and I am also the director of one of the few schools around the world that carries his name, which is called OSHO Divine Healing Arts, where we teach a program for an education program to give you the basis of professional healer and body work. Now, this work was born many years ago when, in my early days of being with Osho, I had just arrived in his ashram. I was coming from Japan, where I lived before, and where I learned from who was at that time a very famous teacher, Namikoshi. Very fast, very soon, I found myself involved with leading groups, meditation groups, that still today it is one of my main activities. And between the periods where the groups were not happening, I was giving individual sessions, treatments of shiatsu massage, shiatsu techniques. Okay. This work of shiatsu became very soon very popular inside of the ashram. And there was a long waiting list until people would be able to have individual sessions with me. I'm talking about had to wait for 2 months before they could find space to have an individual session with me. At that point, someone in the management of the ashram asked me, "Can't you teach this? Because if you teach, then you can reach out to more people at the same time." I confess I had never even thought that I was going to teach that, because I was only practicing what I learned. But I said, sure, why not? I can try. And so I started simple trainings of shiatsu. These trainings themselves start becoming very popular, to the point that they were happening every month for 10 days with minimum 80 participants. And it became an important part of the activities within the ashram. And this went on for years. Now, when we returned from America, after having been living in Rajneeshpuram, there was a very big demand for long-term trainings, which before was a 10-day training, became a 3-month training. And of course, in such an amount of time, I could include many other aspects. Remember, I have by now at least almost 15 years of experience, so I'm much more capable of including in what it was in the past a shiatsu training. I'm now including so many other forms. And what it was before a massage training, today, then it was becoming a healing training, a very professional, competent healing training. And I noticed that this training actually was going towards what we define as natural medicine, what we define as, in a general terms, Chinese medicine. So it became a long-term training. It could not be called anymore shiatsu, because it was so much more than just shiatsu. I sent a question to Bhagwan, to Osho, saying, what shall I call this training? I would like to call it Oriental Healing Arts Training. And that was my suggestion. He answered back, no need to call it Oriental, divine will do. So in that moment, the training became divine healing. I was very surprised with such a name, because there was no reference whatsoever. Oriental Healing Arts, somehow people could make an idea of what the training would be about. Divine Healing was a name that nobody ever heard about. So I went to do some research in Osho's books and discourses if he had spoken about divine healing. And in fact, I was surprised to see that I got hundreds of pages where Osho spoke very clearly about healing and about divine healing. And from there, I start getting the inspiration. What is indeed the OSHO Divine Healing Training today? Because Osho is also a master of healing. He's got some very specific guidelines about what is the right process of healing. First, he says everybody is a healer because everybody has the capacity to love. And healing is 90% of love and 10% of technique. This is absolutely original. This is Osho Divine Healing. So from there, I start getting a really original approach to the world of healing. Although I had been a student of medical student and learned about allopathic medicine, I was now in a whole different approach to the process of healing, the process of taking care of the body. Also from Osho, I got that it is much easier to keep the body healthy than to wait for the body to get sick and then to recover it. So the right medicine is actually a preventive medicine, a medicine that keeps you healthy. And the medicine that keeps you healthy must include 4 aspects. One is touch. And therefore, in our trainings, I teach you all the techniques of touch, particularly the technique of digital pressure, which is shiatsu. We start with digital pressure. And during the training, I explain you and I make you understand why digital pressure is the mother, is the beginning of all techniques. Touch is one important part of healing. Every mother knows this, that a child is a healthy child if it is touched. We still today need to be touched. And when we are touched, we feel good, we feel happy, we feel healthy. Someone who misses touch, eventually, it's someone who gets depressed, eventually will get sick. So touch is one important aspect of our healing training. Second, movement. Movement is the platform of the whole universe. So every situation towards health has to happen with the quality of movement. Even if when we need rest has to be somehow not an absence of movement, has to be a break from movement. Not a contradiction to movement, but rather a gap between 2 phases of movement, a rest in movement. You don't lose the dynamic. You are intensely present in your rest, as you may be eventually intensely present in your movement. So we teach a lot of healing movements, what you call divine healing exercises. But we dance, we make you understand and capable to really see that movement is a fundamental part of any healing process. Then, nourishment, what you would call diet. I think diet is just such a small part of nourishment. Nourishment includes the air that you breathe, the music that you listen, the way that you relate to the people that are part of your relationships. Nourishment is your life quality. And indeed also what you eat. And also part of our training is what I call meditativeness. Meditativeness is a quality that may include practice of techniques of meditation. But these four aspects create an art, divine healing art, inspired by the teachings of Osho. Therefore, I call it Osho Divine Healing Arts. Because my main teaching is about you are the healer. The motto of divine healing is the healer is the healed. So you focus the whole process of the training, what you learn during this training must be useful to you. How you keep yourself healthy, body, mind, spirit. And therefore, you are absolutely confident to share it with other people if you have the personal experience that it works for you. I am my own divine healer. I share with my students what I use in my daily life, what it works for me. Yes, we have written books about divine healing. We have made texts that will help you to learn the training. But the whole focus is you are in the center of the training. You are your first client, and that is why the training is not only if you expect to work one day with people with this on the field of healing, but you're going to have your body to take care. You're going to deal with the issue of death. How do you want to die? How do you want to live consciously? Body, mind, spirit. And the training of Osho Divine Healing Arts is, in my understanding, one of the rare, very unique opportunities to just focus, to bring yourself to the center of your existence. And finally, learn about your body. Maybe you already learned in other schools, in other forms, but then about your belief systems, about what you call your mind. How do you deal with it? About your life quality. What's your priorities? Your quality of really dealing with your basic relations to your existence. And of course, is meditation really a part of your life, or is just an idea that you are living in the shelf and one day you will give some importance to it? All these aspects happen daily during the training. Actually, my difficulty, and I really tell the students right in the first day, is that we have to be ready to be intense. We're going to use every single moment of this training because we have such a short time. Maybe it's 2 weeks, 12 days. It's short time. And the only way you're going to get results is to invest yourself totally in these 10 days, 12 days, 15 days of the training. It's worth it. I really motivate you to take a break from your so-called ordinary life and put yourself in the center. And then you'll get results. Thousands have passed through the trainings. I have so many students professionally working, I would say, in all the continents, in America, in Europe, in Thailand. Some people are doing Thai massage, but they learn divine healing with me. That's where they came from. But in Thailand, it's more successful if you call it Thai massage.